Well, hello everybody. It's Danny and Wanda back from Pecan Grove. We wanted to sit down and share a moment with y'all about the new addition to our property here. And that is Ms. Lucy.
She is a registered Basset Hound. She's 9 weeks old, and she's a tricolored Basset with some ticking. And we got her from Gossmania Homestead, which is friends of ours that live in
Harrison County.
Harrison County. I thought it was another county over. And they are Goss Bassets on Facebook. If anybody's interested, they still, as of a couple of days ago, had two
males left. But then they have another litter coming on, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a few months, few weeks, whatever, they have another litter. So if anybody's interested in a Basset Hound.
Yeah. Now that was, we got the new addition this past Saturday.
Yeah, we've had her, 5 days?
We've had her 5 days. It's been a little bit of a challenge because...
A lot of a challenge.
She's, Gossmania really spends a lot of time with those puppies, you know. And Wanda and I are not used to a dog that's glued to you, you know.
See, they had children, and the children play with them all the time. And so it's a challenge to make sure we are paying attention to our feet because she's little and she's not in here right now because she's sleeping.
Yeah.
And so, and potty training and the whining and whimpering, she's about out of that stage except when she don't like something.
Yeah, we've learned some things about her. I mean, she doesn't like to be caged up.
Nope. She likes to be free.
She likes to be free where she can just roam.
And then we have a little area in the front that we're going to put a picket fence up around for her eventually. But she acts like the fence is already there.
And that is amazing. She'll come up to a certain place where we've talked about putting the fence, and she just stands there, and you can be walked way on off out there somewhere, and she'll just stand right there. And if you don't come back, she turns around, runs, goes back, and gets up on the porch and just sits there and waits on you.
She likes the porch better than she does anything else.
She loves the porch. Now today I was picking the Cherokee yellow wax beans, and Wanda was gone, and she was on the porch, and she went to hollering and hollering and hollering. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going up there and get you. I'm not that far from you. I hollered for her. I said, come on over here, Lucy. You know, and she would come to where we talked about we was going to put the picket fence line, and she would stop and sit and look at me. And then she'd run and get back on the porch and bark and bark and bark. And then finally I just ignored her. And because I had to pick beans. And all of a sudden I felt something and looked down and she was underneath my feet. I guess she decided, well, I better go on out there. You're not coming back, you know.
And she's pretty intelligent. She's pretty much figured out when we want her to come, she comes. She's learning to play with her toys and stuff. She's eating real well, and we're adding into a farmer's diet, I guess.
Yeah, we don't feed much dog food because most dog food is not good really for dogs. We're just trying to transition her from what little she was eating to just the same food we eat, basically. I mean, there's a few things we don't feed her because dogs are not supposed to have certain things. But as a whole, she loves carrots. I mean,
eggs.
I give her 1 egg every morning when we eat breakfast.
She gets half of it in the morning, half of it at night. So she's getting an egg a day. Yeah. She's getting some carrots. I put a little bit of sweet potato in there one day. She gets meat when we cook
squash.
Meat.
She likes cooked squash. She don't like raw squash.
She don't like anything raw.
No, we gave her a green bean. She didn't like that, but now she'll eat them cooked.
Yeah, she don't like most anything raw she won't eat. So I have a few clips I'm going to put at the end from the time she was born. Jerusha sent a picture of her so often and a clip a couple of times. And some clips that I've taken off and on. I'm going to put those at the end of this video.
In the week that we've had her, because it's been almost a week. It's 4 days, 5 days, something like that. You know, she's had a lot of experiences during that time. We're teaching her to ride on the Rangers and the Kubotas with us. I rode her around on the Cub Farm all. And
the first thing I did was put a tote and put her in the tote. Well, she wants out of the tote. She does not like being confined.
Right.
And she wants to stand up, and we put her in the car and rode her in the car in the tote. And she fusses because she doesn't like being confined. So today on the Kubota, I put her on the seat beside me and just kept my hand there so she wouldn't slide off or something. And she rode everywhere I went today just looking. So she's going to be able to ride on anything before long.
Oh, yeah. Well, we actually took her to the Azure pickup. And
Yeah.
Wanda had her out on a leash walking her around, and people fell in love with her there.
She got to play with a lot of people at the Azure Standard pickup.
Yeah, so we're trying to get her where she's. I have a deer leg. Well, I actually got several deer legs. I let her play with, so that she kind of gets the scent and the feel of it. She'll go to barking at it and run and jump at it and stuff like that. Because I want her, so if we ever have an animal that we have to track, I would like to have her where we could bring her and she would just walk on a leash and maybe lead us to a downed animal or something like that. That was the main goal of getting her to start with, was having an animal that we could track with. And then plus having a dog around the house here really keeps predators away. You know, when they smell the presence of a dog, lots of times they just stay away. And we've noticed that we haven't had too much of a problem.
Not yet.
Not yet.
And I know a lot of people are thinking, well, you said you didn't want a dog. Well, we didn't. In the beginning, when Danny and I married, his dog, Rue, was about 11 years old, 11 and a half when we married, and he passed 2 years later. And so he was a 13-year-old West Highland White Terrier.
Highland White Terrier.
And Danny and Debbie had a lot of fun with Rufus. And Danny and I had a good bit of fun with Rufus.
We had a lot of fun with
He
Rufus.
was older and set in his ways and stuff. And then we decided we didn't want a dog for a while. And Danny wanted a
I wanted a yellowmouth cur.
And I got him a cur, and this Hank was wild and carried on. He could jump. We played ball. We had fun. Danny wrestled with him, but his wild side got the better of him, and he left.
Yeah.
So we decided at that point we didn't want a dog, and we were building. At Deep South, we were building all kinds of things, doing stuff, and we didn't have time to take care of it and train anything at the time. We are almost to the point.
Hopefully some of the building projects are just about over here at Pecan Grove.
Deep South is almost ready for sale.
We've just about got it there where we like a little bit. Now, I still have a few things to do here at Pecan Grove, but nothing massive.
No massive building projects.
No massive building projects. And it's getting to a point now where we can begin to spend a little bit of time, training an animal. I'm the kind of person, I don't believe in having a dog just because it's a dog.
Yeah.
If I have a dog, it has to serve a purpose. It can't just be a dog. It's got to be trained, and it can't just be the kind that just runs around and just does what it wants to do all the time. It's got to have a specific purpose, or it's not staying there. It's got to go.
So I'm the type that I'm more like him. I want it to know its boundaries and know where it is. So Lucy has to be trained.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be doing some videos off and on. They may be funny because she is stubborn. Very much stubborn. And we figured that out right off. She is definitely a Bassett. I told Danny, I said, she's got her little streak in her. So we probably won't ever break that streak, but she's got to learn to do our thing, because when she got here, she wanted to be helped 24/7. And so we had to teach her that we can't hold her all the time. And now she's gotten to where she knows she doesn't get helped all day long, but she knows when she can be helped, and she comes and she stays at Danny's feet half the time anyways when he's in the house. So she's learning our way of life and riding and doing things. And when I go out and water the high tunnels, she went out with me. We've been out to the shop where Danny's working. And, we've taken her to see the cows and the chickens and stuff like that, and she's not happy with the cows or the chickens. She just don't like them.
Yeah, they're like monsters. They're really big, you know, for her, and she's so little right now. Till it'll take her a little while to warm up to them. Now I'm afraid if we left her with the chickens very long, they would chase her and probably peck her.
Yeah, she just stood and looked at them. So I do have some clips that I'm going to add to the end of this.
We've taken her to the garden. I mean,
she's been in the
garden.
The gunshot, like.
Oh, the barking dog monitor got her.
I forgot about it, and I was walking, and she was following me, and when we got to the monitor, it went off, and it starts a dog barking and a gun shooting.
Yeah.
And boy, she turned around and went back to the Kubota and just stood there and looked like, what in the world
just happened here? And I've got to break her. I got to make her where she's not scared of gunshots, you know, so I got to spend some time with her.
After she backed off and saw it wasn't going to hurt her, she wasn't.
Yeah, she was fine.
And then I toted her for a few minutes, and when we got up close to it, it was still going off. She'd look at it, but she wasn't shaking or anything like that. And when I did the vacuum cleaner, she did the same thing. She backed off from it, and then when she realized it wasn't going to bother her, she came up close to it and got on one side and then got on the other. So she knows noises to start with bother, but then she overcomes that pretty fast.
Yeah, I think she's going to be a great addition to the homestead. Of course, that's yet to be seen, but we'd like to believe that she's going to be anyway, because I'm going to do all I can to train her. I've trained every dog I've ever had except Hank, and all I did.
You were working on.
I was working on him. He was making a fantastic squirrel dog.
Yeah.
Play
ball.
I played soccer. I could not get a ball past that dog. You know, I mean.
So we were training Hank when he left, but. So we plan on doing that this time.
I'll spend a little bit more time with Lucy. Lucy's not as hyper.
Yeah.
So she'll be. Now I've had a Basset Hound before. I trained the Basset Hound I had before to hunt rabbits because I had raised beagles and sold them and trained beagles and stuff like that for hunting. And so I'll be able to, I believe, train her for deer. I don't want her to get off on rabbits.
And we don't want her running off after deer.
No.
We just want when we need her to track.
Yeah.
After one might have been shot, that's the only time she'd be chasing deer. She wouldn't be out running the woods hunting deer.
Yeah, I mean, in the event, usually I don't have one run off, but there's been occasions where we have, and we have to track them down and find them. So hopefully she'll well, even this year, I may, if I shoot one, I may take her with me to go find, even though I know where it's at.
Yeah.
I might put her down on the ground and see if we can lead her to it to kind of get her used to it, you know, start working with her. I might even maybe shoot a squirrel and take the tail and drag it around through the yard and let her get used to smelling that, you know, different things.
We want to do things like that, and we probably will try to video some of it when we do things. She's already tracking. She already starts smelling where Danny's been today. I noticed, like, where you went to the water faucet.
Yeah.
She went down the ramp and went around, and she kept smelling, and she was going everywhere, and she went around that way. She knew you went there.
Yeah.
So she's already tracking Danny.
Well, I've given her one of my socks to stay with and to sleep with. I had a pair that had a hole in the bottom of them, so I give her one of them to play with and let her get used to my scent. That way...
And she has one of my old T-shirts.
Yeah, she has one of Wanda's T-shirts. That way she knows our scent, you know. But we just thought we'd sit down for a few minutes and share that with you and let y'all see we're going to have some adventures with Lucy.
Yeah. She's still asleep. I'm surprised.
I'm surprised. Usually when she hears our voice and we're not in there, she'll come clicking down the hallway, you know, coming back in here, and then she'll ball up right here beside us. But she's had a pretty busy day today. So
yeah, we've been pretty good. She's doing a lot today.
She's about wore out today, I think.
Yeah. So enjoy the clips at the end. We'll add some more. You'll see Lucy in videos We have her. She'll come pop up in videos off and on, I'm sure, because she'll be with us wherever we go with one or the other. And y'all stay around for the can we train a dog or can the dog train us?
I'll have to see how that goes. Thank you guys from Pecan Grove.
Lucy, what you do?
Look at her sitting.
A pretty girl.
Perfect picture. Oh.
Opus, what are you doing, buddy? You got stick.
Look at you, Lucy.
What you doing? Oh,
Run with it.
Get the ball. Go get the ball. Good boy, Opus. One more step. She got the ball.
Goss Mania on the delivery.
That's right. We got a special delivery for
Uh-oh.
Miss Wanda.
Look at her. She's picture perfect, didn't she?
She's got long ears.
Her ears gonna touch the ground
They do.
already.
She trips
She
over.
trips over him. You want to see?
Come on, Lucy.
Go see.
Come on, Lucy. Oh no, you're going to the kids.
She smells the food.
Uh-oh. What's she smell?
She smells the food we got to zip over.
Look. What are you feeling, girl? It's hot out here, girl.
I'm like a good piece. Grayson is taller than me.
Come on. What? Can you climb?
Yeah, she can climb. She's been pretty good with steps. I got ramps.
We got a ramp. Makes it easier.
You know, put her up to put her over there by the little ramp.
Over there by the ramp.
See. Come on, Lucy.
She can come back to the kids.
She said it's hot. It's probably warm. Come on. Come on.
She'll follow it.
She knows how to follow, doesn't she?
Good girl.
Good girl.
Come on, it's cooler up here, girl.
Come on, Lucy.
Come on. Come on.
Good girl. Good
Look.
girl, Lucy. Good girl.
Bye.